impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte begins at the Senate. 11 members of the lower house will stand as prosecutors to defend the House decision to impeach her. The House has already named the members of this prosecution panel, and these are Representative Jervil Jinky Bitrix Luistro of Batangas 2nd District, Representative Romeo Acop, Antipolo 2nd District, Ramon Rodrigo Raj Gutierrez, One Rider Party List, Joel Chua, Manila 3rd District, Rao Angelo Jill Bongalon, Ako Bicol, Loreto Acharon, General Santos, Lone District. We also have Representatives Marcelino Libanan, 4-piece party list, Arnan Panaligan, Oriental Mindoro, 1st District, Isabel Maria Zamora, San Juan Lone District, Lawrence Defensor, Iloilo 3rd District, Jonathan Keith Flores, Bukidnon, 2nd District. The appointed House members are all lawyers and members of the Philippine Bar. Our second guest tonight is one of the members of this prosecution panel, Manila 3rd District Representative Joel Chua. Good evening, Congressman Chua. Welcome back to the big story. You've had quite the busy day today.
Hi, good evening, ladies. Yes, it's quite a very, very busy day.
Yeah.
I think you're still in the house. Are you still
You
at
are.
Yes, we're still in the house.
What are you
What are you
talking
guys talking about?
Yeah.
We're just having dinner. Nagkaroon ng konting fellowship after the adjournment of the session.
How's everyone feeling, Congressman? What's the mood there?
Okay lang naman. We don't talk much about the impeachment. Medyo nagtatanong lang about the campaign. So, okay lang naman.
11 prosecutors from Congress. Paano po kayo napili?
Well, to be honest with you, hindi ko rin po alam eh. My name just was suggested. So, during the plenary session, it was mentioned. So, that's it.
Nobody talked to you personally, asked you if you want to be one of the prosecutors?
Wala naman po. Wala naman po.
So nagulat lang kayo? You just found out then? Sabay tayo, basically, no, when we found out na part po kayo ng prosecution panel.
Well, siguro because of my background as chairman of the Good Government, so medyo familiar tayo dito sa case na ipafile, no? Siguro mga 2 or 3 articles dito medyo familiar tayo because yun po yung mga naging laman ng ating pong committee hearing.
Actually, we just spoke to Congresswoman Janet Garin. Yun nga yung sabi niya. Sabi niya, the reason kung bakit nga pinasa na sa Senate is because napag-usapan nyo na and familiar na kayo. And I was just thinking na that's probably why ito yung listahan, no? A lot of them were in the Quadcom because yun din yung mga lumabas sa articles. And then, of course, you in Good Government. Pero, matanong lang kong Joel, kailan nyo po nalaman na today is the day? Were you caught by
Sorry,
surprise?
let me just close the loop on that conversation. Do you know who decided on the 11 prosecution panel members?
Sorry, could you please repeat your question? Medyo mahina.
Congressman, sino po nag-decide? If you weren't aware that your name was being floated as one of the members of the prosecution panel, sino po nag-decide ng composition?
It was read by the majority floor leader sa plenary. So, yun, sinuggest ko niya. So, siguro pag may mga kokontra, pwede naman sila magsabi na they're not interested. But wala naman pong kumontra.
So only a few people decided on the list of 11 is what you're saying?
Well, siguro kasi hindi naman lahat eh. Dahil siyempre, unang-una siguro tinignan din nila yung familiarity namin about dun sa case. Isa siguro yon. And another thing is siyempre mga pinili nila dyan, yung mga lawyers. So siguro yun ang mga naging basis nila.
Pero I guess the question is who usually decides, no? Na-curious na rin ako. Sino nga ba talaga yung, kumbaga may ganun bang rule na who gets to pick or internal discussion na lang yan sa majority or...
Hindi, to be honest with you, hindi ko rin alam eh. Because it was just mentioned during the plenary. So, nung minention po yon, that's the time na... Kasi siguro if you're not interested, pwede ka naman sigurong magsabi na... You're not interested. Pero wala naman po sa aming umano eh. Kasi siguro that is our constitutional duty rin eh.
Right.
Okay. Were you able to talk to the other prosecutors? Kong, kasama nyo ba sila sa dinner ngayon? Magkakasama kayo?
Meron po dito. Yung iba po, hindi pa po umaalis. Medyo kumakain pa rin po yung iba. Nagkukwentuhan dahil today is the last day of Congress. Tapos lahat po yan magbabalikan na sa kanya-kanyang probinsya. So medyo parang ano na rin, fellowship night na rin namin dahil siyempre mga magkakaibigan dito, medyo maghihiwa-hiwalay muna kami for at least the next 2 or 3 months.
Kong Joel, nagulat rin ba kayo na today na nga, no, na sumipot itong fourth complaint? Can you give us also more clarity on this fourth complaint? Fourth complaint nga ba siya? Ngayon lang ba to nabulaga din ba kayo? And were you on time for the caucus this morning?
Well, to be honest with you, when the first impeachment complaint was filed, marami na talagang nagtatanong. But realistically speaking, yung first impeachment complaint, it contains 23 articles. So medyo mahaba if we're going to submit it before the Committee on Justice, medyo it will take us siguro baka tapos na yung session, hindi pa rin kami tapos i-tackle yan. So if that is the case, assuming for the sake of argument, after we adjourn in the next, etong 19 Congress at hindi pa rin natatapos yan, it will take us another 1 year. May 1 year prohibition kasi eh. So yun ang risk dyan. So walang may gusto nung first impeachment complaint na final. Yung second at saka third naman masyado lumang maiksi. So, ito naman, yung fourth, ito yung medyo okay na, tama lang.
Kung sino ba nag-file? I mean, sino ba yung proponent nitong fourth complaint? Kasi umiikot nga no, na si Congressman Marcos daw. And then yung iba nagsabi naman hindi siya, pero una lang siya pumirma dun sa parang Excel sheet, dun sa parang signature sheet. Can you give us some clarity no, kung sino nga ba ang talagang nag-push nito? Is it lawmakers? Is it civil society? Is it a group of lawyers? Any idea, Kong?
Yung fourth impeachment complaint po, kami na po yan. Yung pong mga congressmen who signed the articles of impeachment, yan po ang complainant dyan. Kaya kung titignan po ninyo dyan, nakalagay po dyan, tapos mga nakapirma na po sa baba. Yan po ang content ng fourth impeachment complaint.
Di ba bawal?
Congressman Paulo Duterte said, accused Congresswoman Janet Garin of being the one of hastily, quote unquote, I am quoting him, hastily collecting signatures and maneuvering behind the scenes. Could you talk us through ano ba talaga yung nangyari today? Was there someone soliciting signatures from you guys?
Well, I'm quite surprised about the remarks of Congressman Paulo dahil, to be honest with you, I did not receive any call from Congresswoman Garin. It was actually my staff who called me na meron daw caucus at merong party meeting. So I just went to the party meeting. It was presented, inisa-isa, pinaliwanag. So kung wala naman pilitan yan kung sino gustong pumirma, di pumirma. Kung ayaw, lahat naman nagsunuran. So lahat naman pumirma. So that's it.
Okay, Kung Joel, clarify lang again, yung pirmahan nagyari doon sa caucus. Tama ba?
Ano po?
Yung pirmahan, the signing, that happened in the caucus.
Yung pirmahan?
Oo, yun po. Kasi di ba marami pong
Opo,
pirma.
may mga pumirma po nung sa caucus. Yung mga hindi, kagaya ko po, hindi pa po ako nakakapirma nun That was kaya kung titingnan, number 73 po ako So, but may mga iba naman po kasi nung pag may mga nakapirma na rin
Right. Okay. Kong, you are a
Hindi ko
re-election.
po, hindi ko
Go
po,
ahead, Kong.
Hindi ko lang po alam kung yung mga iba ay kailan nagpirma. Pero nung ako po kasi pumirma, after it was presented and it was explained thoroughly and discussed. So may mga, yun po.
Yeah.
Kong, I was saying earlier, you are a re-electionist. So magiging busy ka in the next few days. But before kayo pumirma dito sa impeachment laban kay VP Sara, aren't you concerned about the possible effect, especially recently nagkaroon ng rally, alam natin, Iglesia ni Cristo, very solid ang votes. Aren't you concerned that it may affect the number of votes that you may get this coming midterm election because of these impeachment complaints?
Well, of course, to be honest with you, siyempre concern naman lahat, no? I will be hypocrite if I will say no. But this is our constitutional duty. In fact, ang dami rin nagtatanong sa akin sa media, bakit hindi tinutuloy pa impeachment complaints? Ano na ang nangyari? Inupuan po ba ninyo? So, it's a situation na damn if you do, damn if you don't eh. So pagka hindi namin tinuloy ito, marami rin ng mga nagtatanong, mga constituents namin nagtatanong, ano na nangyari? Parang after all the committee hearings, ano na ang nangyari? So siguro ako sa tingin ko naman na yung mga tao naman very reasonable at maiintindihan naman po nila na we're just doing our job. We're just doing our mandate under the Constitution.
Did the House get any signal from Malacanang to proceed?
Wala naman po akong narinig from Malacanang. It was just during the party caucus that it was explained. So, yun po, nung after that, pumirma po ako. Because naniniwala po ako doon sa merit ng complaint.
Nag-usap-usap na po kayo nung 10 other panel prosecutors, and meron na ba kayong rough plans on how you will proceed, how you will prepare, especially since magbe-break na nga, so hindi naman kayo magkikita-kita sa batasan. Have you guys kind of made a skeleton schedule
May
or a rough
GC
plan?
na ba?
Wala.
May group
May
chat na
group na ba?
Pa lang po namin, kumakain pa lang po kami. Iba nga po, wala na po dito.
But as a member of the prosecution panel now, which is a very heavy responsibility and a burden, what's your plan? What do you think? How are you going to approach this?
Well, of course, first, antayin natin what is the action of the Senate. Kasi if they will not act on it, siguro baka by after the campaign na. So if that is the case, so kampanya pa kami ng maayos. Otherwise, kung inaksyon na nila ito agad, then we will have no choice except to prepare for this.
Meron akong clarification doon sa process na yon, Kong. Kasi iniisip ko, kung June, possible na June na siya magsimula, so hindi naman ganun kabilis yung impeachment complaint. Yung kay Renato Corona, inabot ng 4 months. So kapag umabot siya doon sa transition na magbabago na yung mga members ng Senate, paano yun mag-work?
Ano naman yan the Senate is a continuing body. Kaya nga po, unlike Congress, kami po talaga after June 30, tapos na yung termo namin, mag-ano na kami. Pero unlike yung Senate, continuing body po yan, tuloy-tuloy lang. So sa amin siguro, yung mga hindi napapala rin, siguro magpapalit kami ng member ng prosecutors.
Linawin lang natin kung yung itong continuing body, meaning as a quasi-judicial body that will be sitting
Yes,
as
tuloy-tuloy
impeachment.
lang sila.
So meaning okay lang na magbago yung kalahating members. Kumbaga, tuloy-tuloy
Yes, kasi
lang.
may natitira pa namang 12 So tuloy-tuloy lang po yung kanilang function.
So hindi siya back to zero.
Hindi siya back to zero. Unlike Congress, pag pinasok po namin yan, like for example, inaksyon na namin yung first tsaka second or third impeachment complaint, pinasok namin sa Committee on Justice, at pagdating po dito, natapos po yung Congress sa June. So back to zero po yun. So ibig sabihin, bibilang kami, mag-aantay po kami ng another 1 year. Dahil under the law, meron pong prohibition na kailangan pag hindi nyo natapos after 1 year, so may ban.
What happens if the Vice President resigns before the trial concludes?
Well, I assume na pagka nag-resign siya, well, that is a legal question, no? But ako, I will say na barred na siya.
But
Barred
not
na?
impeached.
Impeached na siya.
If
Diba?
she
But of course,
Impeachment,
pwede
not
naman
convicted.
kasing,
Congressman,
pwede naman
I-
kasing tanungin yan eh. Pwede naman yan tanungin sa court. Marami pang yan eh, magiging another question sa legality pagdating po sa
but
korte.
what's your understanding of the law? Because you are a member of the bar, and that for me is a genuine question because I don't understand the law around this. What happens pag she voluntarily steps down then before she gets impeached, before she gets convicted pala?
Well, if she voluntarily steps down, sa akin po, personally, I think, ano po siya doon, barred na siya to run in 2028.
Kasi yung nagyari kung nung time ni Erap, no, medyo
Yes.
nag-resign din siya, di ba? Tapos nakapagtakbo pa siya, of course, as mayor. Obviously, you can only run for president once, so that was out of his
Kasi
option.
binigyan po siya ng pardon, ng presidential pardon ni GMA. Binigyan po siya ng presidential pardon. At yung pardon na yon unconditional. Nakalagay po dun sa pardon. So, ganun din naman ang nangyari kay Presidente Erap. Hindi rin naman natapos yung kanyang impeachment complaint.
Correct.
But he was barred to run for election in any position. But at that time kasi, nung binigyan siya ng pardon, kasama po dun sa pardon, binalik, ni-restore lahat ang kanyang rights, including the right to run for public office.
Okay, VP Sara will be barred from running on the 2028 elections, pero hindi siya perpetually disqualified. Unlike
Kasama
kung
na po yun.
ma-impeach siya.
Kasama po yun, and then makakasuhan po siya. Pwede na po siyang kasuhan sa korte.
Kahit hindi siya
Kasi
na-convict.
ngayon po kasi, issue po yan. Kung siya po ay pwedeng kasuhan ng ombudsman. 'Di ba? So, ang sinasabi po ng iba, mga legal experts, sabi nila, si VP Sara is not covered by the presidential immunity. But under the charter of the ombudsman, sinasabi naman ng ombudsman, they cannot prosecute those who are impeachable officials. So merong gray area dun sa dalawang yon, 'di ba? So with this, pwede na siyang kasuhan dahil siyempre hindi na siya nakaupo. So pwede na siyang kasuhan sa Office of the Ombudsman.
If she were granted a pardon, would it also allow her to run again in future? Just like, kasi with former President Estrada's case, hindi natapos yung trial. But
Hindi
with
siya
her,
na-convict.
Hindi siya na-convict, yes, correct. But with VP Sara, if she, well, we lost the line, but there's a question still in my mind.
ako din.
If natapos yung trial and she gets convicted, but let's say a year down the road, she gets a pardon, an unconditional pardon, does that then free her up to run again?
Yeah.
Right? Kasi malayo pa from now
Correct.
to 2028.
Kasi
Exactly.
may isang palang key na parang yun nga, just like former President Erap, you could get pardoned further down the line by a friendlier face.
Pwede ka
and
na
then
uling-
makakabalik ka.
Correct. And this is
Mag-handle.
where, as Congressman Chua was pointing out, there's a lot of gray areas kasi it depends on your interpretation of the law, which is why we keep asking. It's not that, you know, we do know a little bit about it, except that
Except that it's also unprecedented.
it
Oo,
also
first time ito
depends-
nangyari.
really depends on how you interpret the law. Congressman Chua, do we have you on the line again?
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry,
so-
may mga tumatawag.
Okay,
Okay,
lang.
sorry. Baka naman si ano yun, President.
Hindi po.
Okay. So the question was, if she does get convicted, but then later on gets a pardon, an unconditional pardon, does that then allow her to run again in future? I mean, what does the law say around that?
Yes, pagka binigyan na siya ng presidential pardon at yung pardon na yun, ni-restore na lahat yung kanyang right, including the right to be voted to run for any government post, then she can run. Just like what happened to President Erap.
Pero yung sinasabi nyo kanina, balikan ko lang ulit, sorry Kong Joel, gagamitin lang namin yung lawyerly brains ninyo dito. So kumbaga, nag-resign siya, no? Bago matapos yung paglilitis sa Senado, so hindi siya na-convict technically, that will still ban
Yes.
her from office. Kasi na-impeach na siya ng House. Ganun ba?
Ano po? Sorry.
Kunyari, na-impeach na siya, di ba? Let's say, hindi siya
Yes.
na-convict, nag-resign din siya, parang si President Erap. Matik na yon that she cannot run for any other position, public post ever again.
Well, that is what happened to President Erap. Although at that time kasi kay President Erap, ang sinasabi nila, inabandon ni President Erap yung kanyang position. So yun ang naging issue dun yung pag-abandon niya unlike in this case, siyempre siya naman, ang ina-abandon niya yung position niya as Vice President. So magiging issue yan, magiging legal issue yan if she can run for President in 2028. Di ba? Yun naman ang issue natin. So siyempre kami, we will insist na hindi na siya qualified because yung pag-resign niya sa kanyang position, that is tantamount to abandoning her right. So, including yung kanyang constitutional duty. So, but of course, pwede kasing questionin din yan That is a gray area dahil if ever na mangyari ito, this will be the first time that this will happen.